A little bit about the man that you see before you. A 30-year career, and if we went through his curriculum vitae right now, we would be here until 9 o'clock tonight. The man has done it all in many different continents, but right now, he is now general partner and executive chef at Los Pinos Ranch Vineyards over near Mount Pleasant, but actually what Chef Chowdhury was telling me, it's not really accurate to say it's near Mount Pleasant because it's out in the pines, as it were, Los Pinos. It's a long way from any city. It's a destination resort, tranquility, the vineyards, cottages, and an incredible restaurant where you can enjoy this man's work daily. That's at Los Pinos Ranch Vineyards, and this man is Chef Enam Chowdhury. Chef?
All right, this is on. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Fantastic. My cohort over here is Gerald Jones. He is with us at the winery, so he is going to be talking about the wines while I'm doing some prep work on the particular dish. Now, what I'm making for you today is an item which is very dear to my heart. It actually is from India. It's called a kati roll, and it's a street food from India, and it's dear to my heart because my mother's from India, from Calcutta. So, this is a roll that I'll go through the process of going through the recipe, and I've done is I did a little fusion of mixing that with a salsa that's made with guajillo chili, which is from Mexico, and a little bit of habanero for the heat. Right, Gerald?
Yes.
Yes.
Much heat. He brings the heat, for sure.
All right,
I can smell it wafting here.
What we're going to do first is we're going to make the salsa, and the ingredients on the salsa. I'll have these recipes for you up in the front while you're tasting the food. The ingredients are guajillo chili, which guajillo chili actually, let's see here. Here we go. This is what it looks like. And basically, we take the guajillo chili, the habaneros, the jalapenos, Roma tomatoes, and grill them. And after the grill, we pop it into the blender with some cilantro, salt, pepper, garlic, about 3 cloves of garlic, and 1/3 cup of lime juice. And what we come up with is this beautiful sauce, which you'll get to try a little bit later on during the tasting. It's got a heat, it's got the citrus acidity. It's absolutely delicious. And you could use that for chips. We use this sauce at the winery for our lobster nachos. Who's had lobster nachos before?
I have.
If you haven't had it, come to the winery.
They are outstanding, definitely.
Very easy to make, absolutely delicious. Now, the meat itself, which goes into the roll, which is very similar to a burrito. It's an Indian version of a burrito. The meat, I use beef over here. You can use chicken, or you can use mutton. As Indians don't eat a lot of beef, so they can eat goat thereabout. Recipe as it goes, and I've got a pre-made dish of the meat over here. The main ingredient in the actual marinade is papaya paste. Has anyone cooked with papaya paste? This is the best meat tenderizer in the world, period. Right? And what I do at home is I'll take a young papaya, take the skin off, take the seeds out, and make batches of this, and I'll freeze it. And if you mix it with any kind of tough meat, with the spices, it'll break it down within 48 hours. And chicken within 12. So, while I'm preparing, cutting up some onions over here, Gerald's going to go over some of the wines and different knowledge questions about the winery.
Thank you very much. And I'll send it back to Enam here in a little bit when he's ready, but not to bore everybody on the wines or the winery itself, but I would absolutely love your attention while we go through what could really pair well with what Enam is doing today. But first off, again, my name is Gerald Jones. I'm with Los Pinos Ranch Vineyards. I handle a lot of the marketing and sales, as well as a lot of the production of the wines as well. Our winemaker's name is Arnolfo Perez. Does anybody know where Pittsburgh, Texas is by chance? And don't feel guilty if you do not. Show of hands, I guess, if you do know, but not many of you. And my job is to tell people where the heck Pittsburgh, Texas is. So that's a daunting task in and of itself. So today we are here as Los Pinos Ranch Vineyards. Our wines continue to grow in popularity all over the state. We're very proud of what we produce. It's kind of a two-part marketing approach where our culinary experience at the winery with Enam at our restaurant is absolutely magnificent. So when you come out and enjoy our delicious food and wines, you can find the wines here in Dallas-Fort Worth as well as all over the state. We're in about 700 stores statewide. But the proudest moment that I have in this is that two-part approach where folks that don't know where Pittsburgh is and finally discover it are really, really amazed at what we've created in the middle of nowhere. So I encourage you all to come out and visit. We have cottages, we have live jazz on the weekends, obviously a full restaurant that seats 300 folks. You can do tastings, tours, jazz. You can get wined up and make some bad decisions along the way with us. No, I'm kidding, but you stay in the cottages as well and not have to drive back. But encourage you to come out and check it out. So before I get into the wines, I'll let Enam go back to what you might need to share with the folks.
All right, so the way we do prepare this kati roll, has anyone heard of bread from India called paratha? You have. So that's what I'm going to put it on. And it's basically a leavened bread, and it's a thicker version of a tortilla. It is absolutely delicious. And basically what I'm going to do is we take 1 egg. Let's see here. You're going to beat the egg. We're going to beat it and season it with some salt and pepper.
This smells amazing. Do you have the nose filter on the camera that you could cue? It smells wonderful.
And this is street food, one of the street foods. Who's had street foods from India? Anyone? The chickpea dumplings, which I had a winery recently. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this in here, let it cook for a little bit. And I'm going to take this bread I'm going to lay that on top. And let it cook for a little bit. What it's going to do is you're going to brown that one side. If you could bring me one finished one from there. Brown both sides. And what we're going to do inside is we're going to fill that up with the meat. And then I'm preparing a coleslaw over here, which basically has regular cabbage, red onions, carrots, cilantro, some jalapeno pepper. Put a little bit of oil in there, a little bit of lime juice. Thank you. Obviously salt and pepper in there already. Then we're going to toss that and give you a nice crunch in the actual roll. Now, the finished product will look like this. It'll be brown on that side, and the egg's going to be on this side, on the inside. So the inside of the egg, we're going to stuff this with the meat that we marinated and cooked. Just like a burrito, we're going to take the green, the coleslaw mix, put that for the crunch factor, and then we'll roll that up just like a burrito, and then serve it with the sauce that I have over there. And the flavor on the meat comes from marinating with papaya, cumin, garlic, ginger, a little bit of cayenne pepper. And all those things, if you marinate for a while, and then what I basically did was, this has very few calories. There's no oil in here at all. I cooked in the oven 350 for about 45 minutes to an hour. And absolutely delicious, which you'll get to taste in a few minutes. At the winery, as Gerald was saying, you know, it's very relaxed. All you guys in Dallas and the surrounding areas get worked up about, you know, all your pressure and tension and all that. It's a very good idea to come out there and relax and enjoy yourself with some good wine and good food and good company and stay overnight over there.
Absolutely. And two, remember this booth 520, which is just down that way, about 4 doors down. You can try all of these wines that I brought here today, which will pair well with what Enam has created. So we're doing a free tasting. You can come up and you can sample our Grand Reserve Meritage here. It's 2012 vintage. That's a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot. Very soft on the oak, very medium bodied. Wonderful wine that pairs well with just about anything, with bone-in ribeyes all the way to, say, some heavy marinara sauces as well, red marinara sauces. So this would be the Sangiovese as well that we brought. Very spicy, very bold, peppery, and oak on the finish. Proud moments on all these wines. These are all grown in the Texas High Plains. Out in East Texas, we can't grow a whole lot of really good dry wine varietals per se. We can do a lot of sweet wine varietals, but we own 75 acres up in the Texas High Plains Panhandle, which is near Lubbock, a town called Brownfield. And so this Sangiovese, the Meritage that comes from there, they're all very delicious. The terroir there is a wonderful growing region, much like the Mediterranean and Central Europe. Spanish varietals and Italian varietals do quite well. So.
While Gerald's talking so much, you should try some of this. Any questions before we get we're getting all the stuff ready? Any questions on the actual? I have recipes for that for everyone to take home. It's not very difficult to make. It is absolutely delicious, just like a burrito if you've made it at home. And the salsa gives you a really nice kick.
2 dry whites to go with it. Outstanding. Take the heat out of it a little bit. Mm-hmm. This is Blanc du Bois. It's a dry Blanc du Bois, all estate grown. There's so much heat, I'm having a hard time talking. So, as he said, I might be seeing stars here in a minute. This Vermentino is a very Sicilian-style dry white. It's outstanding as well. Grows in the High Plains. And very proud moment, this Rosado here is a dry rosé, and it just recently won the one of the top 20 best wines in Texas, chosen by Texas Monthly. So that's a big honor for us. The same thing in this Rosado, the dry rosé, is our sparkling rosé. It's got bubbles to it. It's just like any champagne you drink. Very light, very mild, and very wonderful. Come see us over here at the booth as well, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the wineries and the wines in the winery as well. This is outstanding.
Excellent. Any questions from anyone? Very quiet group over here. Yes, sir. I can't hear you.
Let me get the mic over there, Chef. I'm sorry. Not as spry as I used to be there.
What's that? You asked about the bread? It's called paratha, and it's available in the markets, in the Asian, Indian market. I'll tell you what, if you have that, you're not going to go back to any kind of tortilla. It's unbelievable.
It's called what again, Chef?
It's P-A-R-A-T-H-A, paratha.
Paratha.
Paratha, yes.
Good question. Any other questions? Or are you just ready to eat? I think they're ready to eat, Chef.
Ready to eat? Very good. All right, I'll meet you guys in the front with some recipes and the food.
How about a big hand for Chef Enam Chowdhury of Los Pinos Ranch Vineyards?
And come see us at booth 520. We'll pour you up a good one.
Yes.
Taste, taste, taste. Enjoy.